Hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Burton, and thank you for joining me this week. So, have you ever joined an activation, a meditation, an Akashic journey? Maybe you were really hopeful, and then afterwards you thought, well, I didn't feel anything. Did I do it wrong? If that's you, I want you to take a breath with me now. Slow, deep breath and release. Because this is far more common than people realize. And it doesn't mean you're blocked. It doesn't mean you're not spiritual. And it definitely doesn't mean that nothing happened. Okay? So just take a deep breath and take that in because we've all been there. I have definitely been there. And today I want to gently unpack why feeling nothing can actually be very normal. Very human response. And how you can start noticing the quieter signs, the signs that work is landing. And just to say now before we start, I'm not here to convince you of anything at all. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I really honor grounded spirituality, the kind where you're allowed to be curious. You're allowed to be skeptical, definitely, and you're allowed to take your own time. Okay, your own time is what matters. Nothing else, nothing that anybody says to you, nothing that's happening in the outside world. Don't feel pushed into it. It's about you and your time. So if you've ever felt like you should, I hate that word, you should be having a big experience. Or maybe you've compared yourself to someone else who says, oh, I saw colors, I saw waves, I had this whole conversation with my guides. Then this video is for you. So, one of the biggest reasons that people feel nothing is it's simply your nervous system choosing safety. Okay, just let that settle a minute. Your nervous system is choosing safety. If you've been under stress, you've been carrying a lot, if you're used to being in your head, or you've had to be strong, you've had to be the strong one for a long time in work, in a relationship, it doesn't matter what it is. If you've had to be strong, if you've had to be in your head all the time, your body can be very cautious about letting go of that because that's the normal. That's what it's used to. And it feels that that's what keeps you safe. Okay. That's what your body knows. So it feels that is safe. That caution isn't failure, it's intelligence from your body. And sometimes the most loving thing that your system could do is to say, we'll open up, but gently, because we don't want you to fall apart. We don't want you to get overload. We don't want you to go, what's happening? So you might not drop into a deep sensation straight away. You might feel tingles. You might feel heat. You might feel cold. You might feel emotion. Emotion is a big one. Or you might just feel completely neutral, like this stuff's a load of rubbish. A neutral can actually be a sign that your body is staying regulated. It's not a bad thing. That's a foundation to grow on. And laying strong foundations is a massively great thing to do in anything you do, isn't it? So the strong foundations, a slow start, means that is absolutely a fabulous way to do it. The next piece is this. People experience energy in different languages, in different ways. I'm going to call it languages. So let's call it the language of energy. Some people feel energy as a physical sensation. So it could be warmth, it could be the tingles, it could be cold, it could be pressure, it could be just waves passing through you. Some people experience energy emotionally, tears, joy, release, a sudden opening of the heart, pure love dropping into you. Some people will experience energy visually. So they see colors, pictures, images, symbols, memories, big one memories. And some people will experience energy just mentally. So, like they get sudden clarity around something, they get an insight into something, a sentence that just drops in from nowhere, or a decision that just becomes suddenly obvious. And your way of receiving this could be any or a bit of all of these. Um, and here's a key. None of these is more spiritual than any of the others. They are all exactly the same. It's just your way of receiving them. And the more you open up to things, the more you will get a combination of them. You will have the one that is biggest for you, but you will have a combination of all of these. Okay. So if your language is subtle, if your language is calm, that still counts. It still counts. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be really, really lovely and subtle. And subtle doesn't in any way mean small. Sometimes the deepest shifts are the ones that don't make a big show. They don't go woof. They just quietly change how you move through your week. Okay, so let me just say that again. They just quietly change the way you move through your week. Another reason you might feel nothing is in the moment, is because the shift is delayed. So you might not feel it at that particular time because it's going to come through for you later. So energy work doesn't always land immediately like an instant poof. Sometimes it lands like a little seed, just that little seed that needs nurturing and will grow quietly over a period of time. That might be 24 hours, it might be 7 days. Okay, but it's quietly working away in the background, just silently making little changes within your body. So instead of asking, did I feel something right now? Try asking yourself, what changes over the next 24 hours? So after 24 hours, just look back and journal. What happened to me over that time? What happened? So, and then look back over those single days that you've journaled over the 7 days. Look back over that and go, ooh, what happened to me over that 7 days? It might be subtle, it might be something quite big, but you don't realize it's come in that way. You don't tie it in with what happened, okay, or with what the meditation was. You don't always tie it in with that. So just looking at that and just going, oh, okay, now I understand, is a really great way to see how you're changing. And also the things that are right for you to make those changes, because sometimes if you haven't looked back and seen where those changes, you might discard that and then you're not continuing the pattern. Okay, so you see why it's so important to actually see what's coming in. So here are a few grounded signs that I see over and over again. So it could be that you're going to sleep much deeper, Or the dreams that you're having might change. They might become more vivid. They might just alter what you're having. Um, you could feel calmer in a situation that would normally trigger you. So if you are normally sort of, you have a lot of fire in you and you just go woof, all of a sudden you might find that I didn't quite, I didn't quite trigger me as much as I would normally be triggered in that situation. I was a little bit calmer. I might still have blown because I'm early days, but I was a little bit calmer. And then that will grow over time. You stop over explaining yourself. Okay, this is egoic. Over explaining yourself is living in your mind, is living in your ego. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. Okay, you are who you are. You do not need to explain that. You might have a clearer boundary. Okay, this is a biggie. Because boundaries are so important, and setting a boundary doesn't feel like a real battle. So when we're told you need to set your boundaries, it can feel massive, particularly if you are in a carer situation. And so knowing how to gently set those boundaries and be clear with them in any situation is a really massive thing to know. You might suddenly know that what you want to do next, sorry, you might suddenly know what you want to do next without spiraling. It's just, you don't have to overthink it. Just suddenly, oh, I need to do this. It just comes in. Okay. Or you might feel more in your body. Do you know what I mean by that? By you may feel more present in who you are, less all over the place, less scattered around the universe. Yeah, all of a sudden you feel more as if you know yourself, you know who you are, you're listening, you're hearing your intuition because you are here in the here and now. And that will help you with the meditations as well. So as you come more into your body and more settled, you'll be able to allow the thoughts that pop into your mind. You'll just have to let them go, put them on those little clouds and let them drift away. So those are real shifts. Those are real shifts. And they're often the ones that matter the most. Sometimes feeling nothing happens because we're watching ourselves so closely. We're comparing ourselves to others all the time. And it's like you're trying to relax, but part of you is monitoring. Okay, it's that being in the meditation and all the thoughts pop into your head. Um, and it's like you're saying, am I relaxed yet? Am I relaxed yet? Am I feeling energy yet? Am I feeling energy yet? Is something happening? Is something happening? Nothing's happening to me. It's happening to everyone else. Oh my God, oh my God. And you're never going to feel it at the time in that way, are you? Because, like, literally, that is laughable, isn't it? But it doesn't mean nothing is happening. And that monitoring can keep you in the mind, in here. Again, that is totally normal. If you've been someone who's had to stay in control, if you've had to stay switched on all the time, it really takes practice to soften. It really takes practice to soften. Don't let anyone tell you it's easy. It takes practice. So instead of just worrying about the fact you're not feeling anything, just notice what you're doing and just, I'm monitoring. I'm monitoring. And that's fine. And then that will allow it to shift, to move. You come back to something simple. So come back to your breath. Breathe. Feel the breath coming into the body. Feel where it goes. Feel it coming back out of your body. Just listen to that breath as it's coming in. Or maybe put your feet on the floor. Bare feet on the floor is fantastic for bringing you back to Mother Earth. And even more is if you can do it outside, on the earth is fantastic. That really keeps you in the here and now, keeps you grounded. The feeling of support under your body, that feeling of, I am supported. Mother Earth has me. She is protecting me and keeping me here. Yeah, I never need to worry about that. So let me give you a simple little check-in that you can do after any meditation, any activation, or any energy session that you've had. It doesn't matter who it's with, what you're doing, whether you're doing it on your own, what's happening. But especially if you feel you felt nothing, just try this little check-in. Ask yourself these questions and really don't overthink the answers because generally speaking, the first thing that pops into your head is the right thing. So there's 5 questions that you can ask yourself. So what feels 2% lighter? Just 2%. What feels quieter in my mind? What feels more spacious in my body? Where am I feeling it? What do I suddenly know is true, even if I can't explain why? What's one gentle action I feel called to take next? And you might get an answer to one or all of those questions when you ask yourself that. And if the answer is generally nothing yet, that's okay too. You've asked and you've got the answer, nothing yet. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to simply receive without demanding proof. Okay, we don't we're so used to having to demand proof, and actually you don't need proof. The proof will come to you over a period of time in the way you are feeling. You don't need to demand it now. You can also try this. Re-listen to the same session a day or two later. You see, when it depends on the session. So if it's a small session, 24 hours is enough. I would normally say with some of my sessions, I normally say allow 48 hours and then listen to it again. But what that will do is often this first time your system is getting familiar. So it's getting familiar to what's happening. The second time, you will start to soften into it. The third time, it really opens up to it. And the great thing about energy healing is that you can listen to the sessions over and over and over again. And each time you listen to them, they will work on a different level for you. Okay, we all have levels that we're healing. So if you are new, you are working at the topper levels, the ones that are easier to release. So as you work on things more, you get to the deeper and the deeper layers. Here's the thing many people don't tell you, we're never fixed. We are never fixed. But what does happen is that you feel so much more fantastic once you start releasing. With each different layer you release, you feel better and better and better. And you are able to cope with the issues that get sent to you in a much more grounded way. So, if you've ever thought, maybe this isn't for me, just because you didn't have a dramatic experience in the there and now, please don't use this as evidence against yourself. Please don't. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. Your body sets the pace, and that's the wisdom of your body. Your body sets that pace. Grounded spirituality is not about performing experience. It's not about performing an experience and saying, whoa, I felt all of this. It's great if you do, but that's not what it's about. It's about becoming more connected to yourself. It's about becoming more regulated in who you are. It's about becoming more clear. It's about more trusting of your inner knowing, that intuition that you have, just trusting that what comes through for you is right for you. And if you are craving a safe, grounded space to explore this kind of work without any pressure to get it right, I think you might love what Patrice and I do in the Multidimensional Circle membership. It's a monthly live gathering where we guide you through channeled multidimensional circle, Light language, light code activation, and space for reflection and integration. Um, you also get the replay. Okay, so you can revisit the transmission again in your own time, which is really helpful if you someone who needs a little time to soften into it. We also have a whole portal full of previous um, events, as well as other short and longer meditations that you can do when if your body feels it is right for you. Okay, allow your body to guide you. So if you feel you want to have a look into this more, and please do not feel there is any, in any way, um, this is something you need to do, but I would love to, we would love to have you in there if it feels right for you. So I will pop the details below, as well as the details for my website if you want to find out a little bit more about me. And if you have any questions about either the multidimensional circle or about anything else, please do reach out to me because you are not alone on this path. And if this video has helped you in any way at all, please do let me know in the comments. And if you've ever had a session where you felt nothing, and if you didn't notice the shift until later, maybe, please do let me know that as well. I would love to hear from you. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. And I wish you every success with your next healing session. And please just give it time to land.